with everything that's been going on with Disney Star Wars, it seems like it's just more bad news or more disappointment or something that the media or Kathleen Kennedy are trying to spin into a success. And when it comes to trying to make things look like a success that were a failure, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi probably qualifies, Jeremy. And there's been a lot of questions surrounding Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2. And you would think getting back Ewan McGregor, getting back Hayden Christensen, all this hype for people that love the prequels, you'd think that they would probably have a season 2 on deck, especially for something when it premiered that was hailed as the best premiere ever for a Star Wars series on Disney Plus. But unfortunately, no, it's not happening. It couldn't be more clear. No matter if you're talking about the director, no matter if you're talking about Kathleen Kennedy herself, or even little girl Leia's like, yeah, season 2's not fucking happening because it was just a colossal disaster for them. They started off high with a big premiere. There was obviously a lot of excitement around seeing these characters again. But then as the audience came in and told everyone they fucking hated it, the ratings continued to go down and down and down until a disappointing season finale. And it just really goes to show the fact that you even have people saying things like this. A lot of people are asking me, will we get a second season of Obi-Wan? And I think it's a possibility because Ewan McGregor's begging to do another one. He's really excited. But the reality is Kathleen Kennedy says, no, we're not fucking working on it. That is not an active development, but I'll never say never because there's always the possibility.
God.
Ewan really wants to do another. You have Obi-Wan saying he wants to do another one, but nothing's in development because the reality is this series was probably one of the worst failures in the Disney Star Wars
Yes, it was. Era. Yes, it was. To me, it's the worst. I think it's the worst thing that they've done. I thought it was absolutely horrible. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. Batwoman got a season 2.
Yes.
Didn't it? Yeah. And not even Obi-Wan Kenobi. Again, this kind of goes back to I can understand why something like Solo failed. It's pretty easy to figure that one out. You can understand why something like some of these other projects failed. The fact that you brought back Hayden Christensen, who, in my opinion, right now, and for the last several years, so when people hear Anakin, they think of Hayden, whether that's in the animated form or the live action form. He's monumentally popular. People love him. They also love Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor. And to have those guys come back after all this time and then having Vader be part of this equation to kind of top it all off and having Hayden, being represented as Vader, it's a perfect storm for a massive amount of success. And it took them only a couple of episodes to piss all that goodwill away. It didn't take long.
And you know what a season 2 would be about, Jeremy? It'd be about Reva. If we got it, that's what season 2 would be about. It would be about Reva. And to me, I think that there were some people that even with the sequel trilogy, even with all that stuff, they still had hope for this Obi-Wan Kenobi series and seeing these characters that they loved, seeing some characters that had not yet been affected by like the Disney curse. But it was very obvious that that's what this disappointed so many people. Yeah. I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was the nail in the coffin for a lot of fans, to be honest with you, ones that were still willing to give it a chance and see what happened going forward. Because one, the show just is fucking stupid. The fact that he's running around with Leia across the fucking galaxy is astronomically stupid. And the fact that the series ends up, that season 1 ends up right where we all basically assumed they would start is so fucking stupid. With him finally getting to see Qui-Gon and actually gonna take his mission seriously, I suppose. It's so frustrating. And I think even though Book of Boba Fett's a worse show, that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is probably the worst thing that Disney has done on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think it's the worst thing that they've done with Lucasfilm for sure. That's how bad it was. When you say that something is the worst thing that Disney Star Wars has produced, that is a very big accomplishment considering where we've at with Last Jedi, with Rise of Skywalker. I think Rise of Skywalker was worse than The Last Jedi.
Obi-Wan is much more damaging because of what it does to the lore. The fact that him and Vader fight fucking twice in this, and the fact that he's running around gallivanting the galaxy with Leia, which makes absolutely zero sense. The whole thing combined in its totality is one of the most disrespectful and worst pieces of content that Disney Star Wars has come out with. And you have, I guarantee you Hayden would want to do a season 2. I'm sure he would. But the fact that Ewan says, I really want to do this, and they're basically, it's not even any kind of pre-production, not planning anything going forward at this point, really tells you all you need to know about what's going on with Disney Star Wars and how bad that really was.